Hi, morning. How's it going?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, are you a dad?
I am.
Oh, awesome. And I'd love if you didn't mind sharing a bit about your kids and your experience. How's that been?
Probably the most rewarding experience of my life, also the most challenging. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy being a dad, and I think a lot about how I can be a better parent and what my childhood was like, and how I can work harder at myself to make a really great environment for our child and see him thrive.
So, what's your name, sorry?
I'm Florian.
Where's that name from?
It is German. My dad's German, my mum's Aussie.
Did you grow up in
I grew up in Germany, yeah.
what do you have, like boy, girl, how old?
Our child is 5. He's a boy, and we had him during COVID. He was 7 weeks early, so yeah, that was a whole other ball game with lockdowns and whatnot. He had a hard, difficult start to his life, but yeah, he's thriving now, and just so beautiful to see him succeed in life and be happy and healthy and just loving every moment of it.
So that was two big challenges, COVID for the world and then a 7-week premature. What
Yeah.
was the surprise of him coming early like? Was it quite scary, or like how did you
Yeah,
guys?
it was scary. He was in hospital for 5 weeks. We couldn't see him together, so that was hard. Yeah, and then he had a few little health challenges along the way, but now yeah, he's just outgrown all of that. But yeah, COVID at the time was difficult. Lockdowns, we were uncertain what was happening. Cases rising, spreading, falling. It's like yeah, it was this roller coaster of emotion. I think now we're a bit more comfortable with it, but yeah, difficult at the time when you have a small child and just I guess not having the ability to just be free when you have a newborn is difficult because it's a time where you're not very free in itself because you're homebound and trying to figure out how to deal with a baby, which is a whole different challenge.
And the rewarding part, what were some of the big, highlights that you've seen over the years raising
Yeah,
your son?
so I speak German to my child, and yeah, seeing him starting to explore another language is amazing. He's really into music, and just seeing him just solving like little problems and playing and being imaginative just on a daily basis. There's not a moment where I don't admire how he sees the world and how he approaches it with positivity and fresh eyes, and it makes me a better human watching him interact with others and yeah, be in the world.
That's awesome. I think you've already gifted him with something special with language. Is he stronger with German or English, or it's quite?
Definitely English, yeah. So it's a lot of conversation generally in English, but he's starting to speak German a bit more, and certain words he always will say in German. And yeah, every time I spend more one-on-one time with him, his German will increase. So it's cool to see, and he's translating for his English-speaking grandparents. He can explain to them what words mean what, and fully he understands everything. Just I guess not being able to practice on a daily basis with a broader group of kids or adults means that English is his default language.
What's like a fun word he likes to say in German, or is there any of that going on at the moment?
Being a 5-year-old, he is really into farts. So there's a German word which is Pupsen, and so every time he lets one rip, generally he will say, "Entschuldigung, ich habe gepupst." I'm sorry, I did a fart. So we always have a good giggle, and he gets a good laugh. But when he's with other kids, he will explain what that means to other kids in English. So then they have a laugh. Yeah.
It's great though. The sound is quite similar in English, like the poops sound.
Yeah.
I love how it pretty much translates universally, anyways.
It does. Yeah.
Fart jokes.
Yeah.
I was saying to another dad, like, I think farts, burps, and just sometimes crass humor when it's a bit tense at the dinner table or something, it always just breaks that moment, and it's kind of healthy for everyone just to like laugh at the situation.
Absolutely, yeah. Makes us all drop our guard a bit and just be relaxed and just don't take things so seriously.
And I'm loving this jacket. I'm trying to think what your profession might be, if it's design or anything related. What do you do for work?
Yeah, I'm a designer, so I'm a workplace designer. I actually started out as a furniture maker. I did an apprenticeship in Germany when I was a fair bit younger, after high school, and then came out here and studied interior design in Melbourne, and then went on to have a career in workplace design, so designing offices for large corporate clients, and now I work for a tech company looking after their office portfolio around the world.
Because what's the like that nuance between interior design and workplace design? Is it like larger scale or?
Interior design is the broader term, so you can obviously do interior design for workplaces, for hospitality, so restaurant, bars, cafes, for houses, residential, and then there's all these subcategories, multi-residential for big apartments or one-off houses. So yeah, I'm focusing on office design, so hence it's interior design but for workplaces.
What are you loving about what you get to do day-to-day work, and then how you have any crossover into family life as a dad, whether it's the creative inspiration or maybe work flexibility? Are there any elements that help for your family dynamic?
Yeah, I think as a creative, I love creating with my child and building little cardboard structures or in Lego or Duplo or with timber blocks. So we always invent some fun things to do or do some drawing and creating landscapes for his cars to race around. So yeah, that comes in. I'm very lucky I can work flexibly, so that means I can take breaks and we can have meals together at the dinner table, which is really important for us to spend time as a family. And yeah, that is something that we all enjoy together. And cooking together with him is another creative outlet. I don't have a workshop at the moment, so it's nice for me to do something creative in the kitchen, and where I can I'll involve him and we'll bake something together or make some food together which he enjoys. And yeah.
Any special German dishes you're showing him, or?
No, I don't think so at the moment. No, it's quite across the board. Italian, Australian, lots of baking. He loves chocolate chip cookies, so that's his jam at the moment. So yeah, very happy. Yeah.
Have you shown him Dad's work at all? Like, does he get a sense of? I imagine what you do is like some large scale projects. Has he?
Yeah. Yes, actually I'm working on a big project in Sydney that's quite noticeable, has cranes on it, so he can spot that building from a mile away and he'll always remind me that that's the building site I'm working on. So he's very aware and very interested, and he's particularly interested in the lift. So he wants to go into the building and experience the lift. So as soon as it's ready, I've promised him that I'll take him and we'll go for a lift ride up and down.
That's pretty special. And in terms of the way you sort of, I guess you approach your work, is there any sort of like particular quality that you're thinking about, and again how that relates to raising your son? Do you implement any of that in your life?
Yeah, my work involves a lot of getting people to agree with each other. So you might have different groups in the business that have different ideas, so it's my job to actually tease those things out and also tease out at times conflict that exists between needs or requirements. So yeah, I think that influences my private life as well, trying to figure out how we can agree on something, how we can compromise, how we can move forward. So yeah, being a 5-year-old, there's a lot of negotiation happening. So yeah, I'm definitely practicing my negotiation skills at home, and I can take that then back to the business and work out how people agree with each other.
How do you deal with the illogical conflicts that come up, with children? Like, I know my boys, sometimes I'm trying to rationally explain, if something's happened and we can't do it, but sometimes you just see that their wit's end, or, have you ever experimented with different styles in that way?
I follow a lady on Instagram who's been quite helpful with tips, and one of her things is that you can just stick to your decision and you can acknowledge the feelings that come with that. So no will still be no, even though it is frustrating, or that the child's upset and is crying, and you can still comfort them. But it doesn't mean that you necessarily need to give in to the whims of wanting to eat chocolate for breakfast or whatever the daily thing might be. So yeah, I guess having firm rules or like a framework makes it, I think particularly for boys, a lot easier because they generally respond quite well to structure. Our child anyway does, and just makes it clear for the child what is possible and what's not, and then also at times being flexible with that, so don't be too rigid.
Gotcha. And then just lastly, if there was anything you're looking to impart on your son now, or if you're thinking like 5, 10, 15 years in advance, is there something you might want to instill in him, knowing like Dad really taught me something?
Yeah, I think in the age of AI, I always wonder what will our kids do. and I worry about that. But I think like this insatiable sense of curiosity and exploration that will take him a long way. Empathy for others and kindness. So they're the things that I think really important, and they're universal skills, and doesn't matter what technology will do, I think they will always be useful. And particularly when you're curious, you start exploring, being creative. That's something that, I'm really hoping that he will take with him.
Do you think, because I probably am similar, like, do you think it's a lot about protecting that curiosity? Because it seems like somewhere along in life it kind of gets sort of beaten out of us as we get into adulthood.
Yeah, and being really conscious of what we expose our kids to. Like, we are very careful with devices because we want to make sure that our child has the opportunity to explore, more freely in the natural world or with toys. And I think that curiosity, like particularly like toys like Lego, building, creating, and not really following a rule, like just seeing where things go, free form is really important. And when you have that in your DNA, that will take you a long way from a development point later in life, I think.
That's amazing. And I was just wondering, something else to do down the track. I love to ask dads if you'd be open to showing me some of your process in your professional life, whether it's design or the way you approach things, because I think that's a nice way to sort of link into us as dads to continually like challenge ourselves and to never stop learning. I was wondering if there's anything you think about that I could come and shadow you on just for a brief moment next time to see what you do.
Yeah, sure. I'll have to have a little think about that. I use intuition a fair bit, so I don't know how you shadow intuition, but it's. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Need to have a little think.
Amazing. Thanks, Florian, for your time.
All right, thanks.